Good morning. Well, good morning. I'm in Peru, so I don't know. Probably some of you are in the afternoon. I'm gonna try to fit this presentation in 10 minutes. So let me know if I'm running out of my time. What I'm trying to show you is a bunch of pictures, photos that I have collected during my work in the field here in Peru, in the rural areas. As usual, zoonotic diseases are more prevalent and incident in poor regions in any part in the world, particularly in Peru. We have several uh, areas in Peru, in the mountains, in the jungle, and even in the coast that are still that are very poor. They don't have enough sanitary conditions for people and also for raising animals. So my apologies for my English. I'm gonna try to speak a little bit slow because I haven't spoken English for a long time. So I'm sorry if I made several mistakes during my presentation. Let me pick up my I like this one. Okay. So by showing you some of the pictures of these parasites, I just pick up three of the parasites that I have been working for several years. I'm gonna try to highlight the importance of the relationship between animals and humans, trying to understand why the diseases are still so prevalent in the 21st century. Uh, Probably because we lack that part of the we were talking a little bit about this at the beginning. Probably we didn't apply, we didn't understand people, and we didn't understand why animals are so important for them, and why still we have these diseases affecting several and thousands of people in these rural areas. So let me start with the life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus. This is a cycle I have created trying to incorporate all the elements, the dogs as the key component for the life cycle, who carry the adult tinea, the Echinococcus granulosus, in the small intestine. Eggs go to the environment, and then you have this combination, humans with sheep or cattle, or sometimes South American camelids, horses, goats, etc. And you can see here all the time they have one, two, three, four, five dogs around for taking care of the sheep. The transmission continues, and you can see here what happened in animals. Super infection with these parasites, several cysts in liver and lungs. And also, I hope you can see here a big cyst, almost as big as the heart of these people in the Central Highlands here in Peru. And then you can imagine what are the consequences and the economical impact of the disease in these areas. And the life cycle is closed because this is an I don't like to use the word illegal, but I would say slaughterhouses with not informal slaughterhouses where people go to the animals, and dogs are always around eating the infected viscera, these viscera, and then they close the life cycle. But also, you can see here another picture, which is a person that usually kill the animals in the backyard, and they have dogs, cats, and several animals eating the blood and also the viscera, and they completed unintentionally, they complete the life cycle of the parasite. So I would like to again to highlight this combination, these relations of the humans with different animals, dogs in this case and sheep, and they um, it's like the parasite has found the appropriate conditions, no, the behavioral of the people, and the excellent condition for the parasite to survive. It's like the parasite study parasitology before us, and then we go to the field and we try to convince people not to do something or avoid to do something, but we don't understand exactly what is in the mind of these people. Also, you can see in this picture these markets that There are hundreds of these in the highlands where people go with the animals and exchange. And, they sell animals, they buy animals without any type of control. You can see here cattle, but also we happen the same for pigs, for sheep, for goats, for camelids, for everything. And the disease, this is why the diseases in general are moving to different places. Again. And also, there are some places that people, this is a small goat, and you can see the dog eating the viscera, because when the animals die, not always they bury the animal. They left the dead bodies in the field. So dogs go roaming free in the environment, and they found these bodies and started eating, of course, the animal. It's not like they do it on purpose, They don't know exactly the life cycle, so it's just a custom. It's the way that they live. So we need to understand first why they do these practices. And it's not that I go to the field with all my knowledge and trying to tell people what to do or no, or don't do this before understanding the conception, the feelings, and also the fears that they have for this type of diseases. I don't want to spend time in this type of a slide, but this is what I'm trying to say. We have several interventions that we know that work for controlling the diseases, but usually we try to educate people in these programs, in this combination of different strategies, but we really don't understand what are the feelings, what are the knowledge, what are the habits, what are the fears that they have, and also what are the relationship that they have with the animals. What is the meaning of the sheep or the dogs or on any other animal for them? This is just to show you this area. We were working with dogs and trying to dosify dogs, and you see people, too many people around trying to bring the dogs to our place for treating the animals. But we did this several years ago, but again, we didn't understand. We didn't um, understand exactly what is the the role that the dogs play in the family, into the family. I guess I'm gonna skip this. Um, Talking about this disease, Echinococcus granulosus, or the disease in humans, cystic echinococcus, even in animals, I was lucky to meet a person from UK working here in the highlands of Peru, and she found these diseases, and also she had the opportunity to talk with women in this area. Um, and in one of the presentations of this doctor, she demonstrated what is the meaning and how important is dogs and sheep for these rural populations in Peru. I can share this later with the group, so I don't pretend to read it, this for you to read it or for me to read it. But is, what I would like to highlight here, to point out, is how this person, which is an anthropologist, a sociologist, understood better than us how important are the animals for these people. The areas that we try to control the disease, the areas that we try to intervene, but we need to understand this first. This is my message. We need to understand people before going there with all our knowledge and trying to do the programs, the control programs. This is another example, Tinea solium cysticercosis. You know, um, the pigs are an intermediate host for the parasite. When people eat the undercooked pork, they can get the cyst, and the cyst developed into a new Tinea solium. I'm going to show you a slide of the parasite. Tinea solium develops in the small intestine of humans. Humans go to the field. This is not real in rural areas. People defecate in any part, so contaminate environment. And pigs go there because pigs are coprophagic. They love eating human feces particularly. They eat the parasite, they eat the eggs, they eat the proteins of the parasite and close the life cycle and develop again the disease in the muscle. The problem is, probably you can hear before, um, the cyst can develop also in humans and goes to the brain or to the central nervous system, creating neurocystic cercosis, ocular cystic cercosis. This is a huge problem of epilepsy in countries, in underdeveloped countries like in Peru. Most of the patients with epilepsy in this type of countries, we need to think first in tinea solium, cystic cercosis. So this is the parasite. This is a piece of muscle of heavily infected pork. So it's uncountable. I mean, there are thousands of these seeds in the muscle, and people eat this. People cook and eat this, but some of the seeds will survive, and they close the life cycle of the parasite. This is in the brain here. You can see several seeds also in the brain of a pig, and this is an image of the for neurocystic cercosis in humans. So the disease is really, really important in our countries. What happened is that people, like when we have a little bit of money, we go to the bank, we invest in some business, and then we save our money for us. Well, in these areas, as you can understand, there's no bank, so pigs are really the way that they are saving money. Pigs don't need to be corral necessarily. Pigs go around free, eating trash, eating feces, eating whatever they find in the field, and they close the life cycle in this way. This is free for them. I mean, people raise pigs in the field. When they need money, they can sell some of them, or if they need something for eating, they kill the pig, and they also sell the pork for the neighbors. This is the way that they save money for an emergency or for their family. I'm sorry to show you this nasty picture, but this is the bathroom. And you can see there are some feces. Um, Pigs go there and eat the feces and close the life cycle. Again, there are some markets in the highlands, you can see here in this picture, where they sell pigs without any sanitary restriction or conditions or nothing. And I'm not saying that we need to forbid these markets. No, because it's the way that they are get some money for them. This is a lady with a huge pig there, the place that we used to work in the Central Highlands. Again, there are a couple of pictures that this kind of markets that we could find here in Peru. And finally, this is another parasite, Trypanosoma cruzi, Chagas disease. Probably you have heard this disease. Again, human, no? The vector, this is a completely different cycle. You have a vector, um, and then you have a reservoirs, different animals. And you can see in this picture, you don't have a guinea pig, and you may wonder why I'm talking about guinea pig, because guinea pig is not could be a pet here in Peru, but also in Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, and different countries. This is a meat. This is a protein source for many populations. So, and guinea pigs also are reservoirs for these parasites. Again, that happens in rural areas where the parasite, the vector, could easily survive, as you can see in this picture. If you like coffee, this is coffee. This is an area that we have bananas, a lot of bananas, but also the main income for their families is the production of coffee. This is coffee. They are drying coffee here in the environment, and then they sell the coffee and we drink the coffee. But as you can see in these pictures, houses create the appropriate environment and also all of this for the vector. And the vector live there, go in the night to the animals or humans, and transmit the disease by sucking, by biting the people or animals. They are transmitting the disease, Chaga disease, which is a chronic disease in humans that produce a big heart, a big colon or esophagus. Here's a picture of how people raise guinea pigs. They put in there into the house, in the house, and when they need money, they can sell some of them. If they need something for eating, they pick up one or two or three of these guinea pigs and they cook it. As I said, an animal protein source, important source for this type of families. And probably you can hear, you can see in this is a plastic that is partially is covering the wall. And all these small dots, brown dots that you can see here are the feces of the vector, the vector that you can see here. So we found this in one of the houses in this area. This is in the North Highlands, a little bit in the high altitude of the jungle. It's between the Andes, in the highlands and the jungle. We found the vector, we found this in this plastic, so there are probably hundreds of these parasites eating during the night, biting people or animals, and then they defecate, and this is the classical, typical mark that they left in the walls, or in this case in the plastic. So I'm finishing this with these comments. As I said before in my presentation, before initiating control programs, we know all the parasites, we know all the cycles, and when we try to control diseases, we go to the field and trying to tell people what to do, what not to do. You have to do this. You don't have to do this, and then we have several decades of programs, and then we wonder why it is not working. Probably it's not working because we didn't understand at the beginning what is the relationship between humans and what is the real bond between human and animals. So understanding this relationship will be an important component before initiating these control programs. What is the importance for humans' life, the animals? What is the how they what's the meaning of the animals in the family? Why they're having guinea pig? Why they're having pig? Why they're having dogs? Why they're having sheep, cattle, etc.? What's the meaning of having these animals in this population? What's the role, of course, of the animals in the disease transmission? How the disease is transmitted? Why still is so prevalent in the Andes, in the jungle, this type of diseases that I show you in this short presentation? I guess it's important to know people, know the animals, and know the environment where we need to work for controlling the diseases. So this is part of the group that I work here in Peru. Thank you very much. This is a nice picture of the high jungle in Peru, and I love this kid. These kids are suffering with these diseases. If we have cyst for Echinococcus granulosus in kids, that means that there's an active infection. We have seropositive kids for Chagas disease. That means that the disease is there, no? Vectors are there, reservoirs are there, people are living all together with this type of awful diseases. Thank you very much.